Radical feminism. A fast, drastic change. Liberal feminism. Slow change using the law. Conservative feminism. Maintain status quo. Eleanor Roosevelt. Wife of President FDR, she set up the Status Commission to report on women's experiences in the workplace. Status Commission. In 1963, the Status Commission reported to JFK that women were paid 60% less than men, that only 5% of managers, 4% of lawyers and 7% of doctors were women, and some jobs could sack married women, cabin crew. Betty Friedan, author of the book The Feminine Mystique, which argued for equal pay and that women weren't fulfilling their potentials, linking it to how America would benefit. Equal Pay Act of 1964 meant men and women now should be paid the same in law, had a limited effect to start with. Comstock Act of 1965. A case was settled in June 1965 which led to Congress passing the Comstock Act, ruling that contraceptives were now legalized. Civil Rights Act of 1965 included women because it stated that employment should not be affected by race or sex, limited effect to start with. EEOC was set up to investigate discrimination claims by African Americans but also addressed women job complaints as well. Feminist Movement. A collection of organizations that campaigned for female equality in law and society, sometimes referred to as the Women's Liberation Movement or simply Women's Lib. Gloria Steinhem was one of the leaders of the feminist movement in the late 60s and early 70s. National Organization for Women now was established by Betty Friedan and fought to increase equality for women in law on issues such as abortion. 40,000 members triggered the feminist movement. Women's Campaign Fund, another group to raise money for the feminist movement. National Black Feminist Organization fought for rights for Black American women, part of feminist movement. North American Indian Women's Association fought for rights for Native American women, part of feminist movement. 1969 Divorce Law No Fault. It was now legally recognized for couples to divorce by mutual consent rather than having to blame. This made divorces easier and less bitter. Equal Rights Amendment of 1972. A change was passed to this law in 1972 which said equality of rights under the law shall not be denied by the U.S. government by any state on account of sex. Stop ERA Campaign. A group who campaigned against the Equal Rights Act because it could lead to negative equalities. Women had to fight in war. Phyllis Schlafly led the Stop ERA campaign. Educational Amendment Act of 1972. Girls could now study a curriculum and subjects that previously only boys could. Roe v. Wade. The Supreme Court decided in favor of Jane Roe and invalidated any state laws that stopped women having abortions in the first trimester, arguing that women were free to make decisions about their own body. Similar laws are in place in many parts of the world today. Title IX. Law passed that said women cannot be discriminated against based on sex in any federally funded program or activity.